Hello everyone, I would like to welcome you all to another video of Study with Us. Today actually I have brought something along with me for a change. So you all might wonder actually what is this big book that is in my hand. Would you like to have a guess? I think you guessed correct. It is a dictionary. This is the Oxford Advanced Learner's Dictionary. So this is a very heavy book. So why am I carrying this book? The reason is actually today the question that I'm going to discuss is comprised of an extract of a dictionary page. The question is question number 13 of GCE O-Level 2018 English Examination paper. දැන් අදිනේ මම මේ ඒ ශබ්දකෝෂය කතේ තියන් ඉන්නේ. ඒකට හේතුව තමයි මම අදිනේ සාකච්ඡා කරන්න යන ප්‍රශ්නය 2018 ඉංග්‍රීසි ප්‍රශ්න පත්‍රයේ 13 වෙනි ප්‍රශ්නය ඇත්තටම මේ ශබ්දකෝෂයක් අනුසාරයෙන් සකස් වෙලා තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඒ අපිට දීලා තියෙනවා මේ ශබ්දකෝෂයක පිටුවක යම්කිසි කොටසක් අපිට තියෙන ඒ කොටස කියවලා ඒ අදාළ ප්‍රශ්න වලට පිළිතුරු සපයන්න. So before I move on to answer the question, I would like to draw your attention towards another area. It is why the examiner must have given such a question in this sort of an examination paper. The reason is actually a dictionary is a very important tool for anyone who would like to learn a language. It doesn't matter whether it's English, Spanish, Arabic for that matter. So a dictionary can provide you with some in-depth knowledge about a particular language. Sometimes by referring 10 grammar books, you wouldn't be able to gather the kind of knowledge that you can get from a dictionary of this nature. So what the examiner expects is for you all to make it a habit of using a dictionary in your day-to-day life, because it will improve your language skills immensely. ඒ කියන්නේ මම මේ පොඩ්ඩක් සාකච්ඡා කරන්න අද කැමති මේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට පිළිතුරු සපයන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා ඇයි මේ ශබ්දකෝෂයක් ආශ්‍රයෙන් මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් දීලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. ඒකට හේතුව තමයි ඕනම කෙනෙක්ට තමන් භාෂාවක් ඉගෙන ගැනීමේදී මේ ශබ්දකෝෂය විශාල කාර්යභාරයක් ඉෂ්ට කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ සමහර වෙලාවට උගලන් ව්‍යාකරණ පොත් 10ක් 15ක් කියලා ලබා ගන්න දැනුමට වැඩි දැනුමක් මේ ශබ්දකෝෂයකින් උගලන්ට ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, now you must be wondering actually what are the advantages or what are the uses of developing the habit of actually using a dictionary on day-to-day basis. The main advantage that I can think of is that you can look up the meanings of words that you come across on day-to-day basis. Again, උගලන් නිතරම මේ ශබ්දකෝෂය පරිශීලනය කිරීම තුළින් ලබාගත හැකි උගලන්ට මේ තියෙන මේ හොඳම වාසිය තමයි උගලන් එදිනදා ජීවිතයේදී හම්බ වෙන වචනවල තේරුම කියවලා දැනගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. Apart from that, you can also find out the direct English translation of your native words. Now you and me, like we are not native speakers, so the Sinhala is our mother tongue. So if you want to find out the meaning of a Sinhala word, you can use a bilingual dictionary. So what do you understand by bilingual? I think you probably would have come across this word, bilingual. So bilingual in the sense like you have this a Sinhala English ශබ්දකෝෂය කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. So in bilingual dictionaries, English terms are explained in Sinhala. So the opposite of bilingual is monolingual. For example, for a monolingual dictionary, the dictionary which I just showed you at the beginning of the video, the Oxford Advanced Learner's Dictionary, that is a monolingual dictionary where the English is explained in English. So if you are like looking for a noun, you can also find the plural form of that noun. Okay, and also if you are looking for a verb, then you can also find the other tenses of the verb. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන් නාමපදයක් නම් මේ හොයන්නේ dictionary ආශ්‍රයෙන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ නාමපදයේ ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක වචන සහ බහු වචනත් පදත් ඒ වගේම ක්‍රියාපදයක් නේ ක්‍රියාපදවල වෙනත් මේ ව්‍යාකරණ මේ සම්බන්ධ මේ නීති රීතිත් අපිට මේ ශබ්දකෝෂයක් තුලින් හොයා ගැනීම හැකියාව you can find out the spellings. Okay, so if you don't know the spellings of a word, so you can basically refer to dictionary and find that out. And also there's something called the collocation. So what do you understand by the word collocations? Collocations. So collocations are basically two or more words which are mostly used together. These words are closely associated with each other. For example, if you say a deep thought, you can say high place. කියන්නේ අපි අර සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ නිකන් යුගල පද වගේ කියන්නේ නිතරම මේ එකට භාවිතා වෙන පද. So you can also find out the collocations. And also I think you probably must be knowing about the parts of speech. Okay, so in English language, every word that you use, it belongs to some part of speech. So adverbs, adjectives, adverbs, I'm using the abbreviations. Adjectives කෙටියදු adverbs, adjectives, then verbs. So you have nouns. So basically a dictionary will tell you, to which part of speech a word that you're looking at, it belongs. Again, පාත පදයක්ද, නාම පදයක්ද, නාම විශේෂණයක්ද, ක්‍රියා පදයක්ද කියලා. How about examples? So that means basically now, let's say you have come across a word that you don't know how to use it. A dictionary will tell you, in good dictionaries, you have always the usage of words. So where, how, at what kind of situations you can use a word. Okay, මොන වගේ තැනකද උගලන් දන්නේ නැති කියන අලුත් වචනයක් අපිට මේ යොදන්න පුළුවන් කියලා යම්කිසි මේ අපිට දීලා තියෙනවා මේ උදාහරණ ගොඩක් මේ හොඳ dictionaries වල ඒක අපිට දකින්නට ලැබෙනවා. So pronunciation, so some words it's very hard to pronounce, so you can even you can't figure out, because sometimes it is spelled in a certain way but it is pronounced in a different way. කියන්නේ උගලන් සමහර වචන තියෙනවා මේ අපිට අකුරු ටික බලලා තේරුම් ගන්න අමාරුයි කොහොමද ඒක අපි මේ උච්චාරණය කරන්නේ කියලා. උච්චාරණය කරන විදිහත් අපිට ගොඩක් මේ, so that is something that you mostly find in the monolingual dictionaries, where the you find the pronunciation of a certain word. I think even bilingual dictionaries also, in the good ones, actually you find that. So what is another advantage of using a dictionary? So that means actually when you search for words, most in dictionaries they are given synonyms and antonyms. What are synonyms? Synonyms කියන්නේ සමාන පද. Antonyms කියන්නේ විරුද්ධ පද. So mostly they depicts synonyms by using the abbreviation SYN, and antonyms likewise they use ANT. Okay, so these abbreviations suggest, so SYN suggests it's a synonym, සමාන පදයක්. ANT suggests it's an antonym. Antonym කියන්නේ විරුද්ධ පදයක්. So then actually we probably might have the question of which dictionary to use. කියන්නේ අපි මොන වගේ dictionary එකක්ද අපි පරිශීලනය කරන්න උවමනා කියලා. When you first start to learn a language, actually you are considered as a novice. So who is a novice? Novice කියන්නේ දෙයක් අලුතින්ම පටන් ගන්න කෙනෙක්. So when you're a novice, especially if you're not a native speaker, or if you're a non-native speaker, so basically novice is a person actually who is starting to learn a language. All right, so as a novice, if you get a monolingual dictionary, sometimes actually it probably would be hard for you. So therefore, what you should be doing is, if you're a novice, you ideally should be using a bilingual dictionary. So because that will be easier right at the beginning. ඒ කියන්නේ උගලන් මේ අලුතින්ම පටන් ගන්න කෙනෙක් නම් මේ ද්විභාෂා මේ ශබ්දකෝෂයක් පරිශීලනය කිරීම මේ උගලන්ට ඒ කාර්ය පහසුයි. Then you become what? You become a sort of an amateur. Okay, so you become an amateur. So the moment you become an amateur, that means you have some idea about the fundamentals. Again, ආධුනිකෙක් වගේ කියන්නේ And now you know the language to a certain extent. So then ideally this is the point where you should make the switch from bilingual dictionary to a monolingual dictionary. Because why I'm telling like that is because you have to start using a monolingual dictionary, because otherwise thing is like you will never develop the flow. So I think that is a problem a lot of people have. So when they talk, sometimes they feel like they're getting stuck, because that is because they think in their native language and then they try to translate that into the language that they want to speak. For example, like if you think of a like a novice in Sri Lanka, a person like who is starting to talk in English, sometimes he might get stuck because he thinks in single and then he's trying to sort of translate that into English before he speaks. Okay, so therefore so once you are confident about the fundamentals, when you know your basic grammar, so you can consider yourself as an amateur, and this is when actually you should make the switch from a bilingual dictionary to a monolingual dictionary. It is very important, because then when you refer the dictionary, you find the meaning or the clarifications for certain words in English itself, so you don't have to switch between single to English or English to Sinhala. Then after amateur, you become what? You become an expert. So does it mean that when you're expert, you don't have to use a dictionary? No, you have to, because in English language there are about approximately 1 million words. Even a good native speaker knows about 60,000 words. So it shows you how vast is English language is. Basically, sometimes people think they know a lot, but they probably might know that the knowledge that they have probably might be like a drop in the ocean. ඒ කියන්නේ සමහරව හිතනවා අපි ගොඩාක් දන්නවා කියලා, නමුත් මේ ඉංග්‍රීසි දන්න ප්‍රමාණය ඇත්තටම අර මේ මුහුදක තියෙන මේ එක වතුර බින්දුවක් වගේ ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි. මොකද ඒ හින්දා මේ ශබ්දකෝෂ පරිශීලනය කිරීම මේ noise කියනද amateur කියනද expert කියනද කියන එක අදාළ නැහැ. නමුත් හැම වෙලේම මේ අපි කළ යුතු දෙයක් මේ මොකද මේ වචන මේ භාෂාවකට හැම වෙලේම අලුතින් එකතු වීමකුත් සිදු වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම තියෙන වචන වෙනස් වීමකුත් සිදු වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා හැම වෙලාවෙම අර උගලන්ගේ දැනුම කියන්නේ යාවත් කාලීන කරගන්නවා කියලා මම හිතන්නේ. කියන්නේ you have to be up to date about what is going on. So that is important. That would make you an effective communicator. So then now we talked about what kind of dictionary you should use. Then we come to the question finding words quickly. So finding words quickly, so in a dictionary all the words are arranged in an alphabetical order starting from A to Z. So even now a word start with A. So if you want to find out, let's say for example we'll take amateur. Okay, so where you would find amateur, so you have to turn to the A section and then you have to look where is AM. So likewise you have to go from this end to that end. So if you want to become very thorough, if you want to develop the skill of finding out a word very quickly, it is something that you need to practice. So what you can do is you can get a friend and you can ask the friend to challenge, okay, give me 5 words, I would find you the words within this sort of time frame. You can යාළුවෙක්ට මට වචන පහක් දෙන්න, මම මේ වචන පහ තප්පර 30ක් හරි මේ තප්පර 60ක් හරි ඇතුළත හොයනවා. So likewise actually you can do bit of a game. Okay. And the other thing is you should know when to use a dictionary. So sometimes when you're reading something, you find something difficult, but if you stop at that point and if you start searching for that word in the dictionary, sometimes you will forget what you're reading. So the thing that you have to absorb to yourself by reading something will not happen. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා යම් කිසි දෙයක් කියවගෙන යනකොට වචනයක් දැක්කොත් ඒ වචනේ මේ තේරුම් බලන්න විතර නැවැත්තුවොත් සමහර වෙලාවට ඔයාට මේ කියවන දේ ගැන හරිය අවබෝධයක් වචනේ දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් කියවන දේ ගැන හරිය වැටහීමක් ලැබෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So what you have to do is ideally you just read through with it but keep a mental note of it. Okay, what is the word that you need to check? Once you have finished that para or that sentence, then ideally you should check for the word. Sometimes you probably might not have to refer dictionary. When you read the whole thing, you will get a basic idea about the word that actually you initially thought that you need to check with the dictionary. And also in the same way, if you are listening to a lecturer, sometimes in the middle of the lecture at a difficult word, rather a word that you have not confronted with before, so you might take the dictionary and start looking for the word. But what you ideally should do is actually, without getting your lecture interrupted, you ideally should wait till he finishes. Then you should you can just jot it down, or you can just keep a mental note, and then you can, at the end of the lecture, you can look for the word. Sometimes in the same way as I told you earlier, if you continuously listen to the lecture, some the lecturer him or herself might explain the word, or if not, if you listen to the full thing, the full lecture, then you probably would get a better idea about that word. And also the other important thing is actually using a dictionary, knowing the correct spellings. Sometimes mostly in English language, so just by listening to a word, you can figure out from which letter that word start. But there are a few exceptions also in English language. If you take these words for example, physics, bhautika vidya. So physics, so what happens is, now this ph come together, it gives the sound f. So therefore, actually, if you look for this word in the F section, you will never find it. Okay, so it's important for you to know the spellings of this word. This is psychological. Okay, so psychological, again, something to do with your mentality. Okay, something to do with your mind. Psychological. So that means when you hear the word psychological, someday you might think it starts with S, but this is how it is being spelled. No, there's another no, this no, but this no is no in the sense dhannawa, but though it's pronounced as no, but it starts with a K. So therefore, there are a few exceptions, so which you probably should know the way how it is spelled. Otherwise, you tend to struggle sometimes actually when you go to find the meaning. Okay, so let's see actually how we can ask this question now. So what is expected us to do is, in this question, here is a page from a dictionary. Refer to it and answer the questions given below. Again, අපිට කියනවා මේ ශබ්දකෝෂ පිටුවක් තියෙන පිටුව කියවලා මේ අදාළ ප්‍රශ්න වලට පිළිතුරු සපයන්න කියලා. The first one is find a word phrase for each of the following descriptions. Again, අපිට කියනවා මේ පහත තියෙන මේ විස්තර වලට අදාළ වචනයක් හෝ වචන ඛණ්ඩයක් තෝරන්න කියලා අපිට මේ ශබ්දකෝෂයේ පිටුව තුලින්. The first one is a phrase similar in meaning to neat and clean. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ හරි තැනක් පිරිසිදුවට තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ තිබ්බ දේවල් තියෙන තැනම තියෙනවා වගේ අදහසක් දෙන වචන ඛණ්ඩයක් අපිට තෝරන්න කියනවා. So if you look at under the speak, okay, speak you find in two places. The spellings are SPICK. Now in that they have given abbreviation or acronym IDM. Okay, so IDM, it stands for idiom. Okay, so I mean IDM කියන්නේ. So what is an idiom? Idiom කියන්නේ කෙටි යෙදුමක්. ඒ කියන්නේ විවාහාරයේ යෙදුම් වගේ දේවල්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මේවා ප්‍රස්තාව පිළිවෙල නෙමෙයි. කියන්නේ so ප්‍රස්තාව පිළිවෙල අපි ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් proverbs කියලා. Idioms වලට මේ කියන්නේ කෙටි යෙදුමක්. But the only difference between an idiom and a proverb is idiom is not direct. It's indirect way of telling something. For example, if you say don't let the cat out of the basket, ඒ කියන්නේ රහසක් සුරක්ෂිත තියාගන්න වගේ කියන්නේ බල්ලව මල්ලෙන් එළියට දාන්න එපා කියලා. නමුත් ඒ කියන්නේ බල්ලව මල්ලෙන් එළියට දැමීම ගැන නෙමෙයි, ඒක රහසක් සුරක්ෂිත තියාගැනීම. On the other hand, if you look at something like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So that means if you eat an apple, you can keep good health, you would stay healthy, so you don't have to go and see a doctor. So that is more direct. Okay, so that's the main difference between idioms and proverbs. So here it's an idiom. It says under the speak, if you look at spick and span, okay, it says neat and clean. So also they have given the given an example. Their house is always spick and span. So what you're going to write there, you're going to write here a phrase similar in meaning to neat and clean. So you can write, so what is the phrase is, you can say spick and what? Spick and span. So if you can't find it, so on the extract that is now appearing on the screen, you can see the one that is highlighted in blue. Okay, the second one is a metal point set into the sole of a running shoe. කියන්නේ මේ අපෙන් අහනවා මේ ලෝහමය කොටසකට කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේ ධාවකය දුවන. ඒ කියන්නේ running shoe කියන්නේ ධාවකයන් මේ කියන්නේ ධාවනීය දෙන්න දුවන මේ විශේෂ සපත්තු වර්ගයක්. තියෙන සපත්තු වල යට තියෙනවා මේ යකඩ උල් වර්ගයක්. ඒකට කියන වචනේ මොකද්ද කියලා. So if you look at the word that I've highlighted in yellow, it is the spike. S-P-I-K-E. Okay, you can see that on the screen. It says it's a noun, a thin object with a sharp point, a specially pointed piece of metal, wood. Okay, so that means and the second one, so it has like that noun has several meanings. So under the second meaning of the same word, it says a metal point attached to the sole of a sports shoe to prevent you from slipping while running. Okay, so that means so what do you call it? A metal point set into the sole of a running shoe. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ධාවකයන් ධාවනයේදී මේ ලිස්සල වැටීම වළක්වන්න තියෙනවා මේ ලෝහමය මේ උල් වගේක් හයි කරලා මේ සපත්තු වලට. ඒකට කියන වචන තමයි spike. And the third one is a creature that feeds on insects. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට කියනවා මේ යම්කිසි සත්වෙක් ගැන මේ අනිත් සත්තු ආහාරයට අරගෙන, ඒ කියන්නේ අනිත් විශේෂම කෘමීන් ආහාරයට අරගෙන යැපෙන. So what do you think that is? I mean, if you look at the word spider, which I have highlighted in green, so you can say so let's see what is the description they are given about the spider. A small creature with 8 thin legs. Many spiders spin webs, okay, to catch insects for food. So what it says spiders, what do? They spin webs. කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන් මේ දැල් හදනවා. මොකද මේ සත්තු කෘමීන් අල්ලගෙන කෘමීන් ආහාරයට ගන්න. So the word that you have to write for the creature that feeds on insects is spider. So if you can't find that there, you can see I have highlighted that in green. Okay, so the fourth one, an outdoor tap. An outdoor tap, if you look at the one that I have highlighted in orange, so there's a word called spigot. Okay, spigot. So what it says as a meaning, it says it's a noun, a device in a tap that controls the flow liquid from a container. මේ යම්කිසි උපකරණයක් වතුර පාලනය කරන්න, මේ විශේෂයෙන්ම වතුර ඊටෙන් දෙනගේ වතුර පාලනය කරන්න යෙදෙන උපකරණයක් අපි ස්පිගට් කියනවා. ඒ වගේම තව තේරුමක් තියෙනවා. දෙවෙනි තේරුම තමයි especially one outdoors. Okay, කියන්නේ මේ වතුර පාලනය කරන්න යොදන උපකරණය තමයි වතුර ඊටෙන් දෙනකින් අපි දන්නේ විදිහට කරාමේ කියන්නේ ටැප් එක. මෙතන කියනවා මේ ඒක විශේෂයෙන්ම එලිමහනක යොදලා තියෙනවා. ඒක අපි කියනවා spigot එකක් කියලා. So the word that we need to find is an outdoor tap. So what is the word is spigot. Okay, the fifth question, it says complete the sentence selecting a word from the dictionary page. The sentence is Sri Lankan food is very blank because the cooks add many things to flavor them. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අපිට කියන ඩික්ෂනරි වචනයක් හොයලා කියලා ඩික්ෂනරි පේජ් එකකින් ශබ්දකෝෂයේ පිටුවෙන් වචනයක් හොයලා මේ හිස්තැනට යොදන්න කියලා මේ අපිට තියෙන මේ වාක්‍ය තමයි Sri Lankan food is very හිස්තැනක් because the cooks add many things to flavor them. So for the blank, so what is the word that you think that we should use? I think Sri Lankan food is actually known around the world for what? For spices, what they use in that, because they had, if you look at your parents or your mother especially, must be putting like a lot of things to what she cooks. Okay, so likewise, I mean in general, Sri Lankan chefs also they put a lot of things in the curries they make. I mean just for the flavor, so it gives a nice aroma. So that's why they use. So what is the word that you think that we should use? Because now what is missing here? Sri Lankan food is very what? So they're explaining something, they are telling something about the food. So what do you need? You need an adjective, because now you already have the noun food. So the adjective, what it does is it explains more about the noun food. So Sri Lankan food. So if you look at the full thing, it's a noun phrase, Sri Lankan food, and when you add the adjective, what? Spicy. Sri Lankan food is very spicy because the cooks add many things to flavor them. This question is one of the easiest questions in the examination paper. So if you would have been a good user of a dictionary, this probably would have been easy picking. This would have been like peanuts for you. Okay, so with that, I would like to conclude today's video, and with the hope that I would be seeing you future, in the very recent future, through another video to discuss. I think we have discussed pretty much all the questions apart from one question in the 2018 GCE O-Levels English examination paper. So I'll be back through another video to discuss that question. So till then, I would like to say goodbye for the time being.